Over the last few weeks, I've built an AI agent that handles every single part of my YouTube process. And I built everything as a set of Claude Code skills. So you can watch this video, take notes, and copy everything I do, or you can head to my premium community, AI Innovators, and you can download this entire skill set in a single command. You're gonna need to sign up for a variety of APIs to help these skills work. The first one is the Gemini API, and we're using that for Nano Banana 2 to generate thumbnails, images, diagrams, etc. And we also use the Giphy API, which is completely free for the presentation skill. We use the Scrape Creators API to pull competitor information, and we use the Metrical MCP to analyze our own YouTube data. Just add some credits to the Gemini API and sign up for Metrical if you want. If not, you just won't be able to use the analysis skill. So let's jump into the system and I'll show you what's included. This diagram breaks everything down, and it all starts with the initialization command. Now, I'm telling you guys, I went crazy on this system. I tried to think of everything I could, and I have a couple skills on the way that aren't included in this pack, but I wanted to get it out to you guys as soon as possible. So I am sharing it with you now, but we have updates to come. When you run the initialization command, that's going to spin off a process that audits your entire YouTube channel. It spins up 5 parallel sub-agents that each do a deep dive on an individual component of your YouTube channel. One of them maps out our content pillars, one of them finds our competitors, one of them maps out our brand and voice, etc. It extracts all of that information, compiles it together, and then populates the claude.md file, which provides all of the information that Claude needs to know in order to create content for your YouTube channel. So once that's complete, we can move on to the research phase. Now, when I have an idea for a video, I typically like to go and do a lot of research on that specific topic first. This skill was specifically trained on frameworks from top-tier content researchers to get all of the information that's needed in order to create a YouTube video about the topic. Then we use our specially trained script skill. This skill has been trained on thousands of hours of viral content and frameworks from some of the top content creators that I know. It writes the entire intro, the outro, and structures the video based on the research that was conducted. We use a library of power words, and we make sure that every title that's generated has a curiosity gap. One of the most exciting skills in this entire repository is the thumbnail skill. Now, this uses a pretty complex Nano Banana pipeline, which comes up with 4 ideas for thumbnails. For each of those thumbnails, it will decide which images it needs. It will Google search those images. It will find reference competitor thumbnails. It will pull all of that information back together and then generate 4 extremely high quality thumbnails for you to use in your video. But now that you have titles and thumbnails generated, you're gonna have to see what those look like in combination. So I created the preview skill, which allows you to see what different combinations of thumbnails and titles look like on the YouTube homepage. I've been using this a ton for my latest videos. And then I also developed a presentation skill. So I don't typically use presentations in my videos, but some people do, so I decided to add this skill. It takes the research that was conducted, the script that was written, and it automatically generates an 80 to 200 slide presentation for the YouTube video. You can choose different styles, you can add your own brand styling, and it even includes hand-drawn SVG components like underlines and circles. When your video is ready to post, you're gonna need to write a description, but writing descriptions is super painful. So one of the features that I added was the ability to copy a video into Claude Code, have it transcribe the entire video, and use those timestamps and use that information to create an SEO optimized YouTube description complete with timestamps. And once the video is posted, you need to analyze it. So we gave Claude YouTube an analysis skill. It can go out, it can analyze your videos, it can pull the transcripts, and it can even help you identify new opportunities that you might be missing. That is the current state of the system. Quite a few skills involved. Let's jump over to VS Code. I'm gonna start using it and show you guys what it can do. So I'm just gonna pull up VS Code, and I already have our YouTube assistant loaded up here. I've already done the entire initialization process, so it already understands who it is, who I am, what my YouTube channel, how I speak, what my strategy looks like, my thumbnails, etc. It has all of the information it needs, so now we can just get started chatting. So we need to make this video about a specific topic. So let's do some research on Claude Code Remote. In order to specifically use any of these commands, you can always type /YouTube and all of the commands will pop up. However, you can also just say, do some research on Claude Code Remote. And we'll let it do its thing. All right, so we can see it has finished understanding our audience, doing a competitor analysis, gathering research for this brief, validating the research, and now it is saving the final research to a file. So in a second here, we'll be able to check that out and see what research it conducted. All right, so we got a nice little research report here. And now Claude is telling us the TLDR is that we should make this video fast. The timing for this video is almost unfairly good. Gives us a variety of reasons why this video should work for us, what it should cover, as well as the biggest risk and the fact that we should get it out as soon as possible. So I'm going to ask it to generate some title ideas for this video. All right, now we can see a variety of titles have been generated. We have the top title recommendations up here, and then we have a bunch of different options that we could choose from below here. You know, Mr. Beast says you should always have a title and a thumbnail before you start writing the video. So let's generate the thumbnail next. Generate 4 thumbnails from the best titles. And while that's generating, I just want to show you guys something quick. It does completely personalize all of these recommendations it's giving. So it has quick notes on my specific data, and it says that the first 2 titles use the parenthetical combo, which averages a decent number of views on my channel. So that might be one that I want to go with, or one that I at least want to try. And now it's going and gathering some reference images. It's searching for example thumbnails from high performing videos. It's crafting together the thumbnail prompts, and then it's actually generating the thumbnails to share with us. So I'll be back when this is done generating. All right, and all of the thumbnail generations have completed, so we can take a look at those in our workspace. In the Claude Code extension, it doesn't show us the images directly in the chat. We just need to head over to the workspace, open up today's date, open up the thumbnails folder, and then we can take a look at these. So here's the first one, Claude Code from my phone. Looks like the phone got doubled up, so this one might be a little bit weird. Here's 3 ways that we can use Claude Code. 20 a month, is it worth it? As well as Claude client builds from my phone. So here's the comparison image. Now, these are decent. I wouldn't say these are the best thumbnails in the world, but you can see that it properly pulled in the Claude logo. We could ask it to pull in other logos. We could ask it to change up the style, really whatever we want to do. The one thing I'd say is we don't exactly know which title goes with which thumbnail. So let's ask Claude to create some previews. And I'll be right back when these are all set. All right, and it's wrapping up generating these previews, so we can take a look at what those would look like in the same workspace. We just head over to the previews section. We can click through these as well. So because I'm on Windows, it does look like these previews got messed up a bit. So let me just prompt Claude to fix those real quick, and we'll take a look at these again. And that looks much better. So you can see it actually looks like the preview would on the YouTube homepage. You can see what I did here. I just said the pillow generation got messed up because we're on Windows, not Mac. I found that the font paths were on Mac system only, so it made a few changes and it updated the images. Now, I'll get all of this updated in the GitHub repo, so if you do happen to join AI Innovators and download this skill, you won't have to run into the same problem that I just did. Now, I will say these thumbnails make a lot more sense now that we can see the titles with them. Claude Code Remote Control, is it worth $200 a month? Now we can see the title was supposed to be $200 a month. The thumbnail says $20 a month. So what I'm going to do is copy the path to this file. I'm going to paste it to Claude and tell it the problem. I pasted it in here and I said this thumbnail says $20, but it's supposed to say $200. It should be able to go and fix the thumbnail and then regenerate this preview for us without us having to specifically ask it to do so. All right, looks like it finished up here. We can see that it took a look at it. It realized that it was wrong. It tried to generate again, but it was still being stubborn. But tried again with even more explicit $200 instructions, and then it finally generated successfully. So let's take a look at the preview. And we can see it now says $200 a month, worth it. The thumbnail is decent, and this is something that I potentially might post. So I want to wrap things up by generating a description for this video. Now, I don't have the actual video file yet, so it's not going to have accurate timestamps, but I still want to generate the description so you guys get an idea of what they look like and how this system works as a whole. So we'll head back to Claude and ask it to create a description for this video, and I'll be back when that finishes. All right, and Claude Code has wrapped up with the description, 2,800 characters, so it is going to be a little bit long here, but we can take a look at what's been generated. So I'm going to open this up in a preview so it's easier for you guys to read, and you can see the description here. So obviously if I included a video, we would have timestamps available, but I can always dial in the main parts of the description now and then add those timestamps after. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you want to copy and paste this entire system and use it for yourself, you can get it inside of AI Innovators. If you got any value out of this video at all and you want to learn more about building systems like this, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. It means a lot. It helps me keep making videos like this. So I'll see you in the next one.